Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with a review for Alien Romulus. Before we begin, I'd like to announce that I have a TikTok, so please follow me on TikTok at State of Flux. 3938 is my whole handle. I'll leave a description in the description box down below. I'm going to also say up front, this is a non-spoiler review. I am going to, later in the week, or maybe a week from now, present a spoiler review as well as my definitive ranking of the Alien franchise. But I will say that this movie was the movie I was most excited to see this year. The trailer was absolutely stellar. The posters and all the media around this seemed fantastic. So I was really, really pumped. And I gotta say, I came out of this movie horrifically disappointed. I am so bummed out by this movie. We're going to talk about the positives first because I do think they are important to address. I think this acts as probably the most organic sequel to Alien, more so than any other film in the franchise. This feels like it is a spiritual sequel or a tonal sequel. It just feels like an extension of Alien, and that's the best part about it. It is, just like Alien, is incredibly technically savvy. The visuals are very strong. It has excellent use of its art department when it's well lit. Some of the scenes you can tell that they underlit to kind of hide maybe the fact that they didn't have the budget to make it look absolutely perfect, but largely this film succeeds there, and I think it might even be the best looking Alien movie of the bunch after the third one, which in my money is the best looking Alien film. Again, I'll address all this in the ranking system. But that kind of... Oh, and I really like the characters. The characters are really, really strong. The first act of this movie is incredibly good. It's just, after that first act, there's something that happens around the 40-minute mark or the midpoint of this movie that was a choice made that I really can't abide by. Not only do I think that this, for want of a better term, extended cameo is like an extension of something I thought was really misguided and my least favorite aspect of the original Alien film. It just starts asking moral questions that I am not on board with answering in terms of how I feel about art. And I guess I'll let that just sort of be the tease, and you can look to my spoiler review in about a week's time to get more of my thoughts on that. But ultimately what it comes down to is the final act of this film. A couple choices are made, and one of them makes the ending of this film be incredibly derivative. You follow the same template and formula of Alien and Aliens, where the main character has to go back to retrieve something and thrust themselves amidst the alien presence and stuff. And it's like, we've seen this before. If you're watching just, say, chronologically, Alien, this, and Aliens, you have three movies that have the exact same kind of climax, and it's just like, what are we doing here? It is just derivative. But then there's another choice that is a far bigger choice that happens in the climax of this film that I just found absolutely baffling. It literally lifts the ending of a different movie, a lesser movie, and I was sitting there with my jaw almost on the floor, and not in a good way. I was absolutely stunned. And maybe you'll respond better to it than I did. You'll hear my full thoughts on that in the spoiler review, but largely the first act of this movie is great, and I thought I was going to be watching one of the best Alien movies, full stop. The middle of the movie started, trajectory started, dipping, and then the last act of this movie is dumbfoundingly awful and void of any original thought of any kind at all. And I hated it. I give this movie 1.5 stars. Maybe I'll be kinder to it in the future. But it's by the end of this film, I found it wholly unremarkable outside of how remarkable some of those choices were. And I don't get it. So I am dying to see what the public thinks of this film. As of now, it has a pretty high Rotten Tomatoes score, and I can see that dropping like none other. Or maybe people have just decided to embrace something that they have often criticized in the past, and now they're like, you know what, that is a good idea. I don't know. Stay tuned next week for my spoiler reviews for this, as well as a ranking video for the entire Alien franchise. I feel like my ranking video is going to have quite a few hot takes, especially in light of this movie, but maybe bolstered by this movie. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you thought of the film in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.